If you want to travel to a place that feels like a completely different planet, you must look to the warm, deep waters of the Indian Ocean. Imagine sailing across a vast, endless blue sea. You step off your small wooden boat onto a pristine, blinding white sand beach. You walk inland, and the color of the earth suddenly changes. The ground beneath your heavy boots is not brown. It is a striking, bright, dusty red. You look up at the horizon, and you see the most bizarre, alien plants on Earth. Massive, towering giants that look like they have been planted completely upside down. They have incredibly thick, massive gray wooden trunks and small, twisting branches that reach into the bright blue sky like human fingers. You look closely at a green tree branch, and you see a strange, slow-moving reptile. A bright green chameleon rolling its large, colorful eyes. Welcome to the 8th continent. Welcome to Madagascar. Millions of years ago, this massive island physically broke away from the massive continent of Africa. It floated completely alone in the dark blue ocean. Because it was completely isolated, nature here went absolutely crazy. More than 90% of the wild animals and green plants living on this massive red island exist nowhere else in the entire universe. For wealthy foreign tourists, Madagascar is a spectacular nature documentary come to life. They ride in comfortable, modern white jeeps, holding expensive digital cameras, taking beautiful photographs of the famous jumping black and white ring-tailed lemurs. But for the indigenous Malagasy people who actually live in the small, remote wooden villages, this alien landscape is not a zoo. It is a beautiful, deeply challenging, and incredibly harsh environment. To understand how human beings survive on this isolated red island, you must first look at the ocean. If you travel to the spectacular, bright turquoise-blue coastline of the southwest, you will meet the Vezo people. They are the legendary, semi-nomadic sea tribe. A rugged, deeply sun-tanned Vezo fisherman stands on the blinding white sand beach. He does not use a loud, heavy metal fiberglass boat with a diesel engine. He uses an ancient, brilliant piece of engineering, a traditional wooden outrigger canoe called a pirogue. It is a narrow wooden boat, perfectly balanced by long wooden poles floating on the water. He raises a massive, square, white canvas sail. The strong ocean wind catches the white sail, pushing the small wooden boat incredibly fast across the clear blue water. He sails far out to the dangerous, sharp coral reefs. He does not use heavy modern fishing rods. He holds a long, sharp metal spear. He dives deep into the crystal-clear turquoise water. He is hunting a very specific, intelligent creature, the giant reef octopus. He swims silently above the colorful pink and yellow coral. Suddenly, he spots a massive, shifting shape. He strikes quickly, pulling a giant, wet, wriggling purple octopus out of its dark, rocky cave. He brings the heavy purple octopus back to the bright white beach. The local women, wearing vibrant, colorful yellow and green-wrapped skirts, take the fresh seafood. They hang the giant wet octopuses on long wooden poles to dry directly under the intense, burning yellow sun. They build small hot orange wood fires directly on the white sand, cooking fresh silver ocean fish and massive mud crabs. The ocean provides an endless, bountiful supply of vital protein. But if you turn your back on the blue ocean and walk deep into the dry, burning red center of the island, the survival story completely changes. In the vast, dry southern regions, the landscape is incredibly harsh. It is a desert filled with sharp, thorny green bushes and sharp gray rocks. Water here is more valuable than shiny gold. And surviving this dry, red desert requires the ultimate symbol of Malagasy wealth and power: the zebu. If you stand on a dusty red dirt road, you will see a massive herd of giant, muscular cows. But these are not normal cows. The zebu has a massive, strange hump of fat on its back and incredibly long, sharp, curved bone horns. A strong, young local herder walks behind the massive brown animals. He carries a simple wooden stick, guiding the heavy cows across the cracked red earth. For the people of the interior, the zebu is absolutely everything. They use the heavy brown cows to pull large wooden carts filled with heavy goods. They use them to plow the deep brown mud in the flooded green rice fields. And, most importantly, the zebu is a walking bank account. A family's entire social status is measured by how many massive cows they own. When a special village ceremony happens, a zebu is sacrificed. The rich, heavy, sizzling red meat is cooked over a roaring orange fire, providing massive, essential calories to the hard-working farmers. But owning massive herds of expensive cows creates a very dangerous problem. The red dirt roads are wild, completely unpoliced, and highly dangerous. Armed groups of ruthless cattle thieves, known as the Dahalo, hide in the deep green forests. They carry heavy, illegal metal rifles. In the middle of the dark night, they attack the quiet villages, stealing hundreds of valuable brown cows and causing terrifying violence. The local herders must constantly guard their animals, sleeping outside in the freezing dark night, holding sharp metal spears to protect their living wealth. To fuel this intense physical labor, the Malagasy diet relies heavily on one single, massive crop: white rice. If you travel to the Central Highlands, you will see massive, stunning, emerald green terraced rice fields carved directly into the steep brown mountains. The Malagasy people eat more white rice per person than almost any other country on earth. They eat massive, steaming bowls of fluffy white rice for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It is the absolute foundation of their survival, giving them the heavy carbohydrates needed to walk for miles under the boiling yellow sun. But today, this incredible, unique island is facing a massive, unprecedented environmental catastrophe. Madagascar is slowly burning to the ground. To clear flat land to grow the vital white rice, and to create open fields for the heavy brown zebu cows to eat grass. The local farmers practice an ancient technique called tavi, or slash-and-burn agriculture. In the dry season, they take burning orange torches and set the ancient, thick green jungle completely on fire. If you fly a small airplane over the island, you will see massive, terrifying pillars of thick gray and black smoke rising high into the blue sky. The intense orange flames destroy the ancient, unique green forests. The jumping lemurs and the colorful chameleons lose their homes. And when the heavy, violent tropical rainstorms arrive, there are no green tree roots left to hold the dirt together. Millions of tons of topsoil wash away. If you look down at the massive, rushing rivers flowing toward the ocean, the water is not blue. The water is a dark, violent, bloody red. It literally looks like the entire island is bleeding into the Indian Ocean. The red dirt washes into the sea, burying the delicate, colorful coral reefs and destroying the hunting grounds of the Vezo fishermen. At the same time, massive foreign industrial corporations are driving loud, heavy yellow excavators deep into the quiet forests. They are digging massive, open gray mines to extract valuable pink sapphires and shiny silver minerals for modern electronics. The modern world is consuming the alien island at a terrifying speed, and the young generation is caught right in the middle of this massive change. Young Malagasy teenagers, wearing modern blue jeans and holding glowing digital smartphones, are deeply connected to the global internet. They watch bright, loud digital videos of the capital city, Antananarivo. They see a massive, crowded metropolis. They see thousands of loud, small yellow taxi cars stuck in heavy traffic. They see tall concrete buildings and modern grocery stores. Many of these young people are making a radical choice. They pack their small bags. They step onto crowded, brightly painted metal buses called taxi bruces. They leave the quiet red dirt villages, the giant baobab trees, and the brown cows behind. They travel to the loud, polluted, crowded gray city to seek modern jobs and a totally different future. As the youth abandon the rural villages and the ancient green forests continue to burn, a profound, heavy question hangs over the island. Will the massive, upside-down baobab trees eventually stand completely alone in a barren red desert? Will the beautiful, white-sailed wooden canoes be permanently replaced by loud, smoking fiberglass motorboats? It is a terrifying, complex reality. But if you look into the bright, incredibly resilient eyes of a local farmer, planting small green rice stalks deep in the wet brown mud, you will see a fierce, unbroken determination. These are the people who looked at an isolated, wild, unpredictable alien landscape and decided to build a vibrant, beautiful culture. To live in Madagascar is to accept that nature is both a generous mother and a destructive force. It is the smell of a burning wood fire and the taste of sweet, sticky white rice. It is the feeling of the hot red dirt beneath your bare feet and the cooling, salty breeze of the turquoise ocean. We build massive concrete walls and stare at glowing digital screens, forgetting that our planet is capable of producing infinite, bizarre miracles. But the Malagasy people do not forget. They sail the wooden boats, they herd the giant cattle, and they walk proudly through the shadows of the giant, ancient trees.